I always thought my life was boring in a good way. Safe. Predictable. The kind of life people say they want when they're tired of chaos. 9 years with Lena. 4 years married. No kids. No big fights. No screaming matches. Just routines. Work, dinner, TV, sleep. Repeat. I used to say, "We're solid," whenever someone asked about my marriage. That's what I believed right up until the moment I opened her car door. I wasn't snooping. That's the part one keep reminding myself. I was just grabbing my jacket from the back seat because I'd left it there the night before. It was cold, and my hands were already numb. Then I saw it. A small box, neatly wrapped in red paper, sitting on the passenger seat like it belonged there. I froze. I stared at it longer than I should have. My brain tried to help me out. Maybe it's for me. Maybe it's for a coworker. Maybe you forgot you bought it. But I knew my own handwriting. I knew my own wrapping jobs too. This was clean. Careful. Thoughtful. And it wasn't mine. I closed the door slowly and walked back inside, my heart beating like it was trying to escape my chest. Lena was in the kitchen, scrolling on her phone, smiling at something. "Hey," I said. "Hey," she replied, not looking up. I leaned against the counter and tried to sound normal. "Did you buy yourself a Christmas gift?" She looked up too fast. That was the first thing I noticed. "What?" she asked. "There's a present in your car," I said. "On the passenger seat." "Oh. That," she said, then laughed lightly. "Yeah, that's nothing." "Nothing?" I repeated. "It's just something from work," she said. "From work?" I asked. "Like from the company?" She shook her head. "No, just someone left it on my desk. I didn't want it in the office, so I put it in the car." "Who left it?" I asked. She shrugged. "I don't know. People do Secret Santa stuff. It's not a big deal." Something about the way she said "not a big deal" made my stomach twist. "You didn't open it?" I asked. "No," she said quickly. "Why would I?" I nodded, even though none of it made sense. "Okay," I said. "Just surprised me." She smiled again. "Too wide. Too quick. You're overthinking," she said. "You always do that." I laughed, even though I didn't feel like it. "Yeah. Probably." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying her answers in my head. The pauses. The way her eyes moved before she spoke. At around midnight, I finally said, "Can I ask you something without you getting mad?" She sighed. "That usually means I'm about to get mad." "Who gave you the gift?" I asked. She rolled onto her side, facing away from me. "I told you. Someone from work." "A guy?" I asked. She was quiet for a second too long. "Why does it matter?" she said. "Because it does," I said. "To me." She turned back toward me. "It was just a coworker, okay? He handed it to me at work." "That's it? Just handed it to you?" I asked. "No conversation?" "We talked," she said. "Like normal people do." "How often?" I asked. Her voice sharpened. "Why are you interrogating me?" "I'm not," I said. "I'm asking." She sat up. "I saw him once after work. One time. We just talked." "After work?" I asked. "When?" "Last week," she said. "We ran into each other." "Where?" I asked. "Outside," she said. "In the parking lot." My chest felt tight. "You didn't mention that." "Because it meant nothing," she said. "Why are you making this into something?" I stared at the ceiling. "I'm just trying to understand." "There's nothing to understand," she said. "You're imagining things." The next day, the story changed. "I didn't actually see him after work," she said over dinner. I remembered wrong. "Remembered wrong?" I asked. It was after dinner with a friend, she said. We talked for a bit. That's all. How long is a bit? I asked. She hesitated. Not long. An hour? I asked. Less, she said. 2? I asked. She sighed. Maybe. And the gift? I asked. He wanted to give it to me, she said. So we met. That night, I asked again. We kissed, she said quietly. My heart dropped. Kissed? Just once, she said. It didn't mean anything. The next day, it became twice. Then it became more talking. Then more meetings. Every version came with a new detail, like she was slowly feeding me the truth in pieces she thought I could handle. I sat on the couch, staring at my hands. How many times did you see him? I asked. She whispered, more than I said. Did you sleep with him? I asked. She cried. That was my answer. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. Instead, I felt empty. I don't know who you are, I said. She reached for me. It's over. I ended it. I swear. I nodded slowly. That night, lying next to her, I told myself not to overthink. But the truth was already inside me. And it wasn't going away. I told myself I wouldn't ask again. I said it out loud in my head while brushing my teeth, while tying my shoes, while driving to work. I said it because I was scared of what the next answer might be. But silence didn't bring peace. It made everything louder. That evening, I said, we need to talk. Lena didn't look surprised. That hurt more than anything. About what? She asked. You know what, I said. She exhaled slowly and sat across from me. I already told you everything. No, I said. You told me something. She crossed her arms. What do you want from me? I want the truth, I said. All of it. One version. Not pieces. She shook her head. You're obsessing. Because every time I ask, I said, the story changes. It doesn't, she said quickly. I leaned forward. Then say it again. Start from the beginning. She hesitated. I told you. He left the gift on my desk. You said you didn't know who it was, I said. Then you said it was a coworker. He is a coworker, she said. So you knew, I said. Yes, she snapped. I knew. When? I asked. She looked away. Right away. Then why say you didn't? I asked. I didn't think it mattered, she said. I laughed once. Short. Bitter. Everything matters right now. She rubbed her temples. We talked at work. That's it. Every day? I asked. No, she said. I waited. Sometimes, she added. How sometimes? I asked. She looked at me. Why are you doing this? Because I can feel you lying, I said. And I need to know how stupid I've been. Her eyes filled with tears. That's not fair. Neither is this, I said. She swallowed. We texted. How often? I asked. During work, she said. And after? I asked. She was quiet. And after, I repeated. Sometimes, she said. Every day? I asked. She nodded. My chest tightened. About what? Nothing, she said. Just work stuff. At 11 at night? I asked. She flinched. That's when you met him, I said. Isn't it? She whispered, yes. You said it was once, I said. It was, she said quickly. I stared at her. You already changed that. She shook her head. I mean, once at first. At first, I repeated. She pressed her lips together. How many times? I asked. A few, she said. Say the number, I said. She whispered, 3. I nodded slowly. Where? In the parking lot, she said. After work. You told me it was after dinner with a friend, I said. I didn't want you to freak out, she said. So you lied, I said. She cried. I was scared. Did you kiss him? I asked. She hesitated. Yes. Once? I asked. She nodded. Goodbye kiss? I asked. Yes, she said. My voice stayed calm. Then why did you say twice yesterday? She looked at me like she'd been caught stealing. I don't remember saying that. I do, I said. I remember everything. She wiped her face. Okay. Twice. I stood up and walked to the window. You told me you talked to him at the company dinner, I said. Inside. Yes, she said. Then you said he asked you to come outside, I said. Yes. For a few minutes, I said. Yes, she said again. How long? I asked. She whispered, 2 hours. I turned back to her. And you kissed him? Yes, she said. That night? I asked. Yes, she said. I nodded. So now we're at multiple meetings, daily texts, kisses, and a gift. She stood up. I told you it didn't mean anything. Then why hide it? I asked. She screamed, because I knew you'd react like this. I didn't raise my voice. React like what? Like I'm a monster, she said. I didn't say that, I said. You did. She collapsed back into the chair. Nothing happened beyond that. I stared at her. Say it clearly. We didn't sleep together, she said. My heart pounded. Say it again. We didn't have sex, she said. I nodded slowly. Okay. The next morning, she said, I need to tell you something. I already knew. I lied, she said. I sat down. It wasn't just kissing, she said. I closed my eyes. We did everything, she whispered. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. How many times? I asked. She cried harder. I don't know. You don't know? I asked. I stopped counting, she said. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because something inside me broke. So every answer came with a new lie, I said. She reached for me. I'm telling you now. No, I said, pulling away. You're still telling me what you think I can survive. She shook her head. I'm sorry. I stared at her. I don't even know what's real anymore. She whispered, I love you. I thought about every version she'd given me. And I realized betrayal doesn't explode. It leaks. Slowly. Until everything is poisoned. I told myself to stop asking questions. Not because I had answers, but because every answer felt like it was breaking something inside me. I woke up one morning and decided that maybe the problem wasn't her. Maybe it was me. At breakfast, I said, I think I've been distant lately. Lena looked up from her coffee. What do you mean? I work a lot, I said. I come home tired. Maybe I stopped paying attention. She didn't deny it. She just nodded. That happens, she said. Life gets busy. I took that as confirmation. Later that day, I called Mark. You don't sound okay, he said. I'm fine, I replied. That pause says otherwise, he said. She messed up, I admitted, lowering my voice. But I keep thinking maybe I pushed her there. Mark went quiet. Ethan, don't do that. Do what? I asked. Carry her choices on your back, he said. She didn't plan it, I said quickly. It just happened. That's what people say when they don't want responsibility, he replied. You don't know her like I do, I said. I know you, he said. And I know when you're lying to yourself. I ended the call feeling angry at him instead of her. That night, I watched Lena more closely than ever before. Not like a detective. Like someone trying to learn a new language. When her phone buzzed, I asked, "Who's that?" She answered too fast. "Just work." When she smiled at the screen, I said nothing. When she turned her phone face down, I noticed. "Are you okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." I started replaying old moments. The nights I stayed late. The weekends I cancelled plans. The times she said, "You're not really here." I asked her, "Did you feel lonely before?" She nodded. "Sometimes." "How long?" I asked. She shrugged. "A while." "A while like months?" I asked. "Maybe," she said. I felt guilty. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to fight," she said. "So you cheated instead?" I asked, then instantly regretted it. She flinched. I said I was sorry. "I know," I said. "I shouldn't have said that." And just like that, I apologized to her. The next day, I caught myself checking her phone habits without meaning to. Not grabbing it. Just watching. How long she typed. How quickly she replied. How often she smiled. "Do you want to look at my phone?" she asked suddenly. "No," I said immediately. "I trust you." The words tasted bitter. That night, I dreamed about the gift. Not the box itself, but what it meant. Someone thinking about her. Planning something for her. Knowing her well enough to choose it. In the morning, I asked, "Where is it now?" "The gift?" she said. "Yes," I replied. "I threw it away," she said. "When?" I asked. "After everything came out," she said. I nodded. "Okay." But I couldn't stop seeing it in my head. Red paper. Perfect edges. Sitting in her car like a secret waiting to be found. I told myself, if you hadn't looked, you wouldn't be here. Mark came over a few days later. "She's remorseful," I said before he could speak. "She's trying." "That doesn't erase what happened," he said. "She cut contact," I added. "You sure?" he asked. "Yes," I said, though I wasn't. He looked at me carefully. "You're defending her harder than she's defending herself." "I love her," I snapped. "I know," he said. "That's why I'm worried." After he left, I felt exposed. That night, I asked Lena, "Are you still talking to him?" She sighed. "No. I told you." "Promise?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "Why do you keep asking?" "Because my head won't shut up," I said. She softened. "You're hurting." "So are you," I replied. She nodded. "But we can fix this." I wanted to believe that. I started changing things. Coming home earlier. Asking about her day. Putting my phone away. She noticed. "You're trying." "I should have done this before," I said. She didn't argue. That scared me. One evening, I said, "Do you still think about him?" She hesitated. "Sometimes." My chest tightened. "And me?" "Yes," she said quickly. I smiled weakly. "Good." Later, alone in the bathroom, I stared at myself. If I were better, I thought, this wouldn't have happened. I checked her silences. The way she paused before answering. The way she breathed before saying my name. Every gap felt loud. The gift wasn't just a gift anymore. It was every unanswered question. Every changed story. Every doubt I swallowed. It sat between us even when it was gone. One night, she reached for my hand. "You're quiet," she said. "I'm just thinking," I replied. "About what?" she asked. I wanted to say, about how I'm breaking while protecting you. Instead, I said, us. She smiled. "We'll be okay." I nodded. But deep down, I knew something terrible. I wasn't doubting her anymore. I was doubting myself. The truth didn't come from Lena. That was the part that hurt the most. It came from a casual conversation that wasn't meant to matter. I ran into Claire outside the grocery store. She worked with Lena, but we'd never really talked before. She smiled like nothing was wrong, like my life wasn't quietly collapsing. "Hey," she said. "You're Lena's husband, right?" "Yeah," I replied. "She doing okay?" Claire asked. I nodded. "Why wouldn't she be?" Claire hesitated. "No reason. Just asking." I smiled politely, paid for my groceries, and walked to my car. My hands were shaking before I even reached the door. That hesitation stayed with me all the way home. That night, Lena was relaxed. Too relaxed. She hummed while cooking like the world hadn't changed. "You seem in a good mood," I said. She smiled. "I am." I watched her carefully. Her shoulders were loose. Her voice steady. No fear. I decided not to ask anything yet. At dinner, I said, "Claire says hi." She froze for half a second. Barely noticeable. But I saw it. "Oh," she said. "Did you see her?" "Yeah," I replied. "At the store." "What did she say?" Lena asked. "Nothing important," I said. "Just small talk." She nodded, but her fork stopped moving. Later that night, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling. "Wait," I told myself. "Watch." The next day, I replayed Claire's pause over and over. It didn't sound like concern. It sounded like guilt. That evening, I said, "I want to ask you something, and I need you not to lie." Lena sighed. "I'm so tired of this." "I know," I said. "So am I." She crossed her arms. "Ask. Did anyone at work know about him?" I asked. Her eyes dropped instantly. "No," she said. I waited. "I don't think so," she added. "Claire knows," I said. She looked up fast. "What?" "She knows," I repeated. She didn't say it, but I could hear it. "That's not true," Lena said. "Then look at me," I said. "And say it again." She tried. Her voice cracked. "She doesn't know." I leaned forward. "You're shaking." She covered her hands. "I'm cold." "It's not cold," I said. Silence stretched between us. Finally, she whispered, "She might know something." "What does that mean?" I asked. "She saw us talking once," Lena said. "At work?" I asked. "No," she replied. My chest tightened. "Where?" "In the parking lot," she said. I nodded slowly. "That's not new." "She might have seen more," Lena added. "Like what?" I asked. She swallowed. "Us leaving together." I felt dizzy. "Leaving where?" She didn't answer. "Where?" I repeated. "His car," she whispered. I stared at her. "You told me you never got in his car." "I didn't want to scare you," she said. "So you lied," I said quietly. She cried. "I was trying to protect you." I laughed softly. "You were protecting yourself." She shook her head. "It wasn't planned." "Neither is betrayal," I said. I stood up and walked away, then turned back. "Tell me everything," I said. "All of it. Right now." She wiped her face. "I already did." "No," I said. "You told me what you could control." She hugged herself. "We met more than I said." "How many times?" I asked. She whispered, "A lot." I nodded. "Did you ever plan to tell me?" "No," she said. That answer hit harder than anything else. "When did it stop?" I asked. "When you found the gift," she said. "Not before?" I asked. "No," she replied. I felt my chest cave in. "So if I hadn't looked?" She didn't answer. I asked, "Did you love him?" She shook her head. "No." "Did you care about him?" I asked. She hesitated. "I cared how he made me feel." I sat down slowly. "And how was that?" She cried harder. "Wanted." I closed my eyes. When was the first time? I asked. She whispered, after the company dinner. In the restaurant? I asked. No, she said. After. In his car? I asked. Yes, she said. Kissing? I asked. Yes, she replied. And after that? I asked. She was silent. And after that, I repeated. She whispered, we went somewhere. Where? I asked. A hotel, she said. The room felt like it was shrinking. How many times? I asked again. She shook her head. I don't know. You don't know? I said. I stopped counting, she cried. I felt something break inside my chest. Did you ever think about me? I asked. Yes, she said quickly. While you were with him? I asked. She didn't answer. That silence told me everything. I gave you 9 years, I said. My whole adult life. She sobbed. I know. And you gave me fragments, I said. I was afraid, she said. Of losing me? I asked. She nodded. You lost me the moment you chose him, I said. She reached for me. I stepped back. I don't recognize this marriage anymore, I said. She whispered, we can fix this. I shook my head slowly. Something collapsed inside me. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just quietly. The marriage I believed in died that night. And I felt it happen. The next morning, she was different. Lena came into the kitchen humming softly, carrying coffee like nothing had happened. Her eyes were softer, her smile careful. You're up early, I said. I couldn't sleep, she said. I wanted to make us breakfast. I looked at her, expecting bitterness, excuses, or defensiveness. Instead, she was present. Attentive. Thanks, I said. She poured my coffee and sat across from me. I want to be honest, she said. Completely honest, from now on. I nodded slowly. Okay. I don't want to hide anything anymore, she said. Her hands shook slightly. I want transparency. No secrets. Even now? I asked. Yes, she whispered. Even now. I watched her carefully, waiting for the old Lena, the one who twisted truths to make herself look innocent. She wasn't there. She looked fragile, vulnerable, guilty. She cried quietly, lowering her face into her hands. I'm so sorry, she said. I felt nothing. I know I destroyed everything, she said. I know I hurt you beyond repair. Then why are you here? I asked. She lifted her face. Her eyes were red, glistening, desperate. Because I love you. I want to fix this. I shook my head slowly. You can't fix what's gone. I can try, she said. Please. I'll do anything. I didn't move. I didn't speak. The silence stretched between us, heavy and unbearable. You're quiet, she said. Am I saying something wrong? You said it yourself, I said. You destroyed everything. She nodded. I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it up to you. I looked at her, really looked, and realized how absurd it felt. Someone changing only after causing irreversible damage. That's ironic, I said. She frowned. What do you mean? You've become perfect, I said. Perfectly attentive, perfectly apologetic, perfectly fragile, after everything. Her lips trembled. I didn't know how to be any different before. I was scared. I was selfish. You've got the script down now, I said flatly. The one that's supposed to make me forgive you. She shook her head. I'm not doing this for forgiveness. I'm doing this because it's the truth. I let her speak, but I didn't respond. Her words rolled over me without landing. I realized the numbness inside me had grown too deep. You're not angry, she said finally. I am, I said. But it's not like it was before. She tilted her head. What changed? I swallowed. I don't know. Maybe it's that I've already grieved the person I thought you were. Her hands clenched. I'm still here. I'm still me. I love you. I know, I said. And that makes it worse. Worse? She asked. Yes, I said. Because you're here, begging to be forgiven, and I can't give it. Not yet. Maybe never. Tears slid down her cheeks. You don't want me back. I don't know, I said. I want the person I married, the one who didn't lie, the one who didn't hide things from me. She's gone. She shook her head. I can be her again. You can't, I said. You can only be this, new version. And it's too late. She looked at me, her eyes searching, pleading. Why won't you at least let me try? Because trying doesn't erase the past, I said. It doesn't undo the betrayal. I know, she whispered. But I can't stop wanting to make it right. I leaned back in my chair. It doesn't matter. I've learned something important. What? She asked. That remorse doesn't heal betrayal, I said. Not in the way people think. It doesn't erase the pain. It doesn't restore trust. It just exists alongside it. She looked stunned. So what do we do? I didn't answer right away. I wanted her to feel the weight of what she'd done, but I also knew that weight was mine to carry. I don't know, I said finally. I guess, we see what happens next. She nodded, swallowing hard. I'll do whatever you need. You already do, I said. But it's not enough. We sat there in silence, the clock ticking loudly. I realized that my life had shifted. The power wasn't mine anymore, and yet, it wasn't hers either. It was in the space between us, the space she had fractured with lies and now tried to mend with tears. You're still angry, she said quietly. I don't know if that's the right word, I said. I feel nothing. And that's worse. She wiped her face. Do you hate me? I don't think so, I said. I just can't care yet. Yet? She asked, hope flickering. Maybe never, I said. But that's not your fault anymore. That's mine. Her hands trembled as she reached for mine again. I didn't stop her this time, but I didn't respond. I just want you to know, she whispered. I will never lie again. I will never hide anything. I promise. I hope you mean it, I said. I do, she said. I really do. Her promise hung in the air, fragile, almost laughable. I watched her cry, watched her plead silently, and realized how cruelly ironic it was. She had finally become perfect, but the perfection was meaningless. I don't feel anything when you cry, I said finally. Her lips trembled. That's okay, she said. It's worse than anger, I said. It's numbness. And it's mine. Not yours. She leaned back, defeated. I understand. The silence returned, heavier than any argument could have been. I realized the power dynamic had shifted. She was desperate, fragile, and exposed. I was quiet, withdrawn, and untouchable. You're safe now, she whispered, more to herself than to me. I guess I am, I said. And in that quiet, I understood, remorse cannot erase what was done. Apologies cannot rebuild trust. Tears cannot undo a lifetime of lies. She had changed, finally. But it was too late. And I felt the power slowly, quietly returning to me, not because I forgave her, but because I no longer let her control my emotions. I wasn't happy. I wasn't healed. I wasn't whole. But for the first time in weeks, I felt steady. I didn't say anything at first. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I started therapy instead. Why do you want to be here? My therapist asked during the first session. To stop myself from doing something I'll regret, I said. He nodded. Like what? Lashing out. Asking questions. Obsessing over her, I said. He leaned back. So, what do you want to feel? Calm, I said. Even if it's just a little. It wasn't easy. Every session dug up memories, questions, fears. But I started noticing something. When I stopped reacting, she started panicking. One evening, Lena came home smiling, carrying the scent of her favorite perfume. "You okay?" she asked. "I'm fine," I said. "You're quiet," she said. "Yes," I said. "I'm listening." She frowned. "Listening to what?" "Everything. And nothing." She leaned closer. "Do you hate me?" "I don't," I said. "Not like before." "Then why?" she trailed off. "Because I'm not reacting," I said. "And that terrifies you more than anger ever did." Her lips trembled. "I don't understand." I smiled faintly. "Watch." For weeks, I observed. Her tone. Her hesitations. Her silences. I didn't interrupt. I didn't accuse. I just absorbed everything. "Why don't you ask me anymore?" she finally said one evening. "I learned that asking won't give me answers I need," I said. She exhaled sharply. "So you're done?" "Not done," I said. "Just preparing." "Preparing?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Emotionally and financially. I'm making sure that if I have to step away, I can do it cleanly. Without chaos. Without regret." She froze. "Step away?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "But I do know that I'm not going to chase illusions anymore." She lowered her gaze. I don't like this." "You never liked my reactions either," I said. She shook her head. "You used to fight for us. Now I fight for myself," I said. Her breathing hitched. "Does that mean you're leaving?" "I don't know yet," I said. "But I'm no longer holding on to the past, waiting for you to fix it." She sat down heavily. "You're cold." "I'm not cold," I said. "I'm steady. Observant. Preparing." Her eyes filled with tears. "It's worse than anger," she whispered. "Exactly," I said. I watched her cry, helpless, realizing that the power had shifted entirely. Not because I shouted or demanded. Not because I punished her. But because I had withdrawn the emotional supply she relied on. "You're different," she said finally. "I can't read you anymore." "I'm different," I said. "I'm not you. And I'm not the man I used to be." She leaned forward. "Please, tell me what to do. I'll change again. I'll do anything." "You can't change the past," I said. "And I won't rebuild what's gone. But I can change myself." Her voice cracked. "So, what are you saying?" "I'm saying I'm choosing me," I said. "Even if that means stepping away. Even if it means silence. Even if it means nothing." She shook her head. "Nothing?" "Not nothing," I said. "Not forever. But right now, withdrawal is my revenge. Watching. Observing. Quietly taking control of my life." She trembled. "You're terrifying." I nodded. I never realized how much power I gave away, pretending everything was fine. Now I'm taking it back. "You don't want explanations?" she asked. "No," I said. "Explanations won't undo it. Questions won't heal it. What I need is distance, clarity, control." "You're acting like I don't matter," she said. "You matter," I said. "But I matter more." Her hands shook. "So what now?" "Now I prepare," I said. "Emotionally. Financially. Mentally. I don't ask why. I don't demand answers. I just move forward, in case you can't." She exhaled sharply. "And if I can?" "Then we'll see," I said. "But I won't let past betrayal dictate my life anymore." She sat silently, absorbing every word, every pause. The quiet between us was deafening. I realized then that withdrawal doesn't feel like revenge. It feels like freedom. But it terrifies those who relied on your reactions. "You're not angry," she said finally. Not really. I'm not, I said. I'm observant. Calculating. Ready. She looked at me, terrified. And me? You? I said. You're alone with your guilt. And that's enough. She didn't speak. I sipped my water and watched her. The quiet was absolute. The tension palpable. The roles reversed. I had stopped pleading. I had stopped accusing. I had stopped crying. And for the first time, she didn't control the narrative. I realized revenge doesn't always mean action. Sometimes it means withdrawal. Watching silently, preparing carefully, letting the other person face the consequences of their choices without interference. She looked like she might cry again. I hope you understand, I said. This isn't cruelty. This is survival. She nodded silently. And in that moment, I felt the first flicker of calm. Not peace. Not closure. Not forgiveness. Just control. The choice I never thought I'd make. I didn't lift a finger. I didn't text him. I didn't call her. I didn't confront anyone. And yet, everything started to unravel on its own. It began at work. I heard about the gift, a coworker said casually one morning. I raised my eyebrows. The gift? You know, she said. From the company party? I nodded slowly, staying quiet. She was hiding something, the coworker added. People are talking. I didn't react. I just listened. The next day, another voice. I can't believe he got involved, a colleague whispered. Who? Someone asked. The guy she was seeing, the first one said. I kept walking. I didn't stop. I didn't comment. Rumors started spreading. People glanced at her differently. Small smirks. Awkward pauses. Invitations she used to get were withheld. I watched silently. At home, Lena noticed immediately. They're talking about you, I said one evening. She sat down heavily. I don't care. You care more than you admit, I said. She looked away. I don't know how to deal with it. You're not dealing with it, I said. You're noticing consequences. She frowned. I didn't do anything wrong. You chose to lie, I said. You chose to betray. That choice has consequences. Karma doesn't need me to enforce it. She was silent for a long moment. The coworker disappeared. I didn't push it. I didn't ask why. I didn't investigate. He's gone. I asked one evening. Yes, she said softly. Did you end it? I asked. No, she said. It just ended. I nodded slowly. Sometimes the world handles things better than we do. She avoided my eyes. I thought I could keep him in my life without consequences. You couldn't, I said. And now reality is teaching you the lesson. At dinner the next night, she asked, do you feel satisfaction? No, I said. Not really. I just feel quiet. Quiet, she repeated. Yes, I said. Observing. Seeing things unfold without interference. Learning that the universe doesn't need me to punish anyone. She shook her head. You make it sound easy. It's not, I said. It's just effective. The next morning, I overheard her phone ringing. It was him. She didn't answer. Later, she admitted she hadn't spoken to him in weeks. I don't know why, she said. I just stopped. You didn't choose me, I said. You didn't choose silence. The world chose it for you. She looked down at her hands. I feel empty. Good, I said quietly. You need to feel that. She glanced up. That's cruel. Maybe, I said. But it's honest. At work, she noticed it too. Awkward looks. People who once smiled now smiled less. Invitations never came. She tried explaining herself. She tried excuses. They didn't matter. People had already made up their minds. One evening, she asked me, "Do you think people will ever forgive me?" "I don't know," I said. "They might. But that's not your concern. Your concern is that reality has already decided. Karma doesn't wait for anyone to be ready." She stayed quiet, her shoulders slumped. Weeks passed. The tension at work grew. She tried to apologize to colleagues, but they offered only polite nods. Invitations she used to accept automatically were now refused. Small privileges she took for granted were quietly revoked. I watched it all, quietly. "You're not doing anything," she said one night. "No," I said. "I don't need to. Things are resolving themselves. Slowly, quietly. Without my help." She was silent. I could hear her thinking. I could see her realizing that I wasn't her crutch anymore. I wasn't her audience. I wasn't her shield. "You're distant," she said finally. "I'm observing," I said. "Everything you did has consequences, Lena. You'll feel them, whether I say a word or not." She swallowed hard. "And me? You?" I said. "You're learning that remorse doesn't erase what was done. Karma doesn't need me to enforce it. Reality is enough." Tears ran down her face quietly. "I don't know how to fix this," she whispered. "You don't fix it," I said. "You survive it." Weeks turned into months. The coworker was gone completely. No texts. No calls. No trace. Lena never tried to contact him. He disappeared like a shadow in sunlight, irrelevant and powerless. The workplace rumors subsided eventually, but their marks remained. Awkward silences lingered. Invitations weren't restored. Trust once lost didn't come back. People learned to treat her carefully, politely, cautiously. I didn't intervene. She came home one evening and said, "It's all quieter now." "Yes," I said. "Quiet, like the world is letting you sit with your choices." She sat across from me at the table, her hands wrapped around a mug of tea. "Do you think it's fair?" I shrugged. "Life isn't about fairness. It's about consequences." She nodded, almost ashamed. I said, "And sometimes, the world handles consequences better than anyone could. Karma doesn't need my help." She swallowed hard. "It's terrifying." "Exactly," I said. "And that's the point." We didn't speak much after that. Silence became our new rhythm. She observed my calm, my quiet detachment. I watched her realize that she could no longer manipulate or charm her way out. That remorse alone couldn't restore what she lost. That her actions had lasting effects she couldn't undo. It was subtle. Slow. Restraint. But the power had shifted completely. "You're unchanged," she said one evening. "I'm stable," I said. "And that's enough." She looked down at her hands again. "I never realized how much damage one could cause." "Damage isn't always obvious," I said. "Sometimes it's invisible, like a fracture in the heart. You can feel it years later." She nodded, silent. Weeks passed. The quiet continued. The coworker remained out of her life. She didn't cry as much. She didn't beg as much. She learned the lesson slowly, painfully. And I didn't have to do anything. Karma worked. Quietly. Effectively. Without me. She came home that evening like she was walking on eggshells. I wanted to talk," she said softly. I looked up from the book I wasn't really reading. "About what?" "Us," she whispered. I set the book down slowly. "Us?" "Yes," she said, swallowing. I miss what we had." I leaned back in my chair, watching her. She was small, hesitant, uncertain. The control she once wielded so effortlessly had vanished. "I'm listening," I said. She sat across from me, fingers twisting nervously. Go on," I said. My voice calm, steady. "I know I hurt you," she said, tears welling. I lied, I betrayed. I didn't realize." I nodded slowly. You didn't realize until you were already lost in it, yes. Yes, she said. And I want to fix it. I want to be honest. I want you to trust me again. I smiled faintly. Do you know what's different now? Her eyes widened. What? I don't need you to fix anything, I said. I don't need explanations, excuses, apologies. Her lips trembled. You don't? No, I said. I've grieved what we had. The marriage I believed in, it's already gone. She stared at me. Gone? Yes, I said. I'm not angry. I'm not begging. I'm not obsessed. I'm calm. She shook her head slowly. I don't understand. You're supposed to be devastated. I was, I said quietly. But that was weeks ago. Now. I just observe. Her hands trembled as she reached for mine. I didn't stop her, but I didn't meet her halfway either. I want to reconnect, she said, voice barely above a whisper. Reconnect? I asked. You think fear and loss can be fixed with kindness now? I want to try, she said. I leaned forward, calm and deliberate. Try? Lena, I've already grieved this marriage. I've already mourned what you destroyed. There's nothing left to try for. Her eyes filled with fear for the first time, not pleading, not manipulative, just raw, scared. I didn't know it would come to this, she said. I did, I said. I knew the moment I realized you had chosen someone else over us. I grieved then, not now. She whispered, I thought I could control it. I thought I could. I don't know, recover it. You can't control consequences, I said. You can't reclaim what you took away. And the calm I have now hurts more than rage ever could. Her lips parted. Hurt? Yes, I said. Because I'm steady. I'm observing. I'm untouchable. And that makes you realize, without me yelling, that you've lost everything you once manipulated. She covered her mouth with her hands. I never thought. You never thought you'd be powerless, I said. And that's exactly where you are. Tears ran silently down her face. She wasn't angry. She wasn't begging. She was terrified. You're not angry? She asked, voice shaking. No, I said. Not anymore. That energy isn't mine to give. You already took it and wasted it. Now, I'm just calm. I thought if I changed, you'd forgive me, she whispered. I shook my head slowly. Changing now doesn't repair what's gone. It doesn't restore trust. It doesn't undo the choices you made. Her shoulders slumped. So what do I do? You? I said. You accept that you've lost control. You accept that the person you once knew is gone. That the marriage you destroyed is beyond repair. And you live with it. Her gaze dropped to her hands. I never thought it would feel like this. It feels like this because it is this, I said. You're not imagining it. You can't charm, manipulate, or plead your way out of this anymore. She exhaled slowly. It's unbearable. Good, I said softly. It should be. It's your reckoning. You didn't lose me because I left. You lost me the moment you chose someone else. Her lips trembled. I never realized. You realized now, I said. And that realization is more powerful than any scream, any fight, any accusation could have been. It's silent. It's absolute. And it hurts. I don't know how to live with this, she whispered. You live with it, I said calmly. You don't fix it. You don't change it. You face it, quietly, every day. She looked up, her eyes wide, haunted. And you'll just sit there? Yes, I said. I've already mourned. I've already grieved. I don't need to react. I just observe. Her body shook. I realized she had never seen me like this. Calm. Detached. Unshakable. Unreachable. I thought fear would make me stronger, she said finally. It does now, I said. But it's fear of loss, not fear of anger. That's a difference you should understand. Fear of losing me is far more powerful than my rage ever was. She sat there quietly, absorbing every word. I could see her understanding finally, painfully, that control had shifted entirely. You're not the man I hurt, she whispered. I am, I said. Just not the one you thought you could manipulate. I've grieved. I've grown. I've observed. And now, I decide what affects me, and what doesn't. Tears ran silently down her cheeks. She reached for my hand again. I didn't stop her, but I didn't respond. Please, she whispered. Please, let me explain. Let me say something. You already said it, I said. The truth. And it's enough. Her voice trembled. And you feel nothing? I feel calm, I said. And that's worse than fury. That's permanent. That's understanding what's lost and accepting it without needing to act. That's the power you can't take back. She stared at me. Fear. Regret. Pain. Not manipulation. Not anger. Just pure realization. I never wanted this, she whispered. I know, I said. But that doesn't change it. And now, it's too late. The silence that followed was heavy, complete, and final. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I didn't cry. I just sat. And she finally understood. I packed my things quietly. I'm leaving, I said softly. She looked up, eyes wide. Leaving? Now? Yes, I said. I've thought about this for weeks. Months, even. You can't just leave, she said. Her voice trembled. I can, I said calmly. I've realized something. Staying won't fix anything. It won't heal me. It won't undo the past. She shook her head. Please. I can change. I can. I'm not here for change anymore, I said. I'm here for myself. For my own peace. For clarity. Her voice cracked. You're just walking away. Yes, I said. And I don't need to explain why. You already know. Her hands shook as she reached for mine. I didn't move. I didn't pull away. I just let the silence stretch. You're not angry, she asked finally. I'm not, I said. I'm clear. That's worse than anger, Lena. Clarity doesn't scream. Clarity doesn't demand apologies. Clarity just exists, and makes you face what's gone. She bit her lip. So, this is it? This is it, I said. She sank into the chair, burying her face in her hands. I never thought it would end like this. Neither did I said softly. But it did. And now it's my turn to walk forward, without dragging the past behind me. She looked up. Her eyes red, haunted. Don't you hate me? I don't hate you, I said. I feel something far more powerful. I feel understanding. I've lived through the betrayal, the lies, the deceit. I've grieved what we had. And now, I choose me. Her lips quivered. And me? You? I said. You face the reality you created. You feel the consequences. And that's enough. You don't get to erase what was done. She shook her head, whispering, I can't believe it. I thought you'd beg, yell, fight. I did, I said quietly. In my mind. In my heart. But I learned that anger solves nothing. Pleading solves nothing. Silence, calm, clarity, that solves everything I need. She leaned forward. So, this is peace. For me, I said. Not for you. You'll feel your own peace, or your own emptiness, but I've already chosen mine. Her voice broke. You make it sound easy. It's not easy, I said. It's deliberate. Thoughtful. Painful. Quiet. But it's real. And it's mine. She looked at me, haunted, and whispered, I thought I could have it all. You couldn't, I said. You couldn't have your lies, your freedom, and my trust. Something had to break. And it was us. Her lips trembled. I never wanted to hurt you like this. I know, I said. But wanting doesn't undo the choices. It doesn't erase the betrayal. It doesn't bring back what you destroyed. She fell silent. Her hands twisted in her lap. I grabbed my bag. I'm ready, I said. She looked at me with a mix of fear, regret, and disbelief. And, you won't turn back? No, I said. Not even once. I've spent months grieving silently, observing quietly, understanding deeply. There's nothing left to turn back to. Only forward. Her voice was barely audible. I thought love would fix everything. Love alone doesn't fix betrayal, I said. Not when trust is broken, not when lies dominate, not when the person you loved is no longer the same. She shook her head slowly. And you forgive me? I don't need to, I said. Forgiveness isn't mine to give. I'm not here for closure from you. I'm here for freedom for me. She exhaled sharply. And peace? Yes, I said. Peace. Quiet. Control over my own life. That's what I've been waiting for. I walked to the door. She followed me, trembling. Hamza, she whispered. Yes? I said. I love you, she said. I stopped, taking a deep breath. I know, I said quietly. And that's why I have to leave. Because love doesn't repair what betrayal destroys. I loved you too much to stay in ruins. Her lips quivered. So, goodbye? Goodbye, I said. I didn't linger. I didn't wait for tears or pleas. I walked out the door and into the night. The street was empty. Quiet. I breathed in the cold air and felt something I hadn't felt in months, clarity. I didn't look back. I didn't want to. Every step was deliberate. Every movement forward was mine. I realized betrayal doesn't just hurt, it teaches. It teaches you about your limits, your worth, your need for yourself first. I thought about the years. The laughter. The love. The routine that once felt so safe. And I let it go silently, without rage, without drama. I thought about the lies. The gifts. The kisses. The stolen moments. And I let them remain in the past, where they belonged. I thought about her fear, her realization, her loss. And I felt nothing but quiet satisfaction, not revenge, not joy. Just understanding. I walked past the familiar corner cafe. The one where we used to sit. I didn't glance inside. Memories would have been a trap. I passed the park where we walked after dinners. I didn't slow down. I didn't hesitate. I just moved forward. I passed the bridge where we once talked about forever. I didn't stop. I didn't linger. I didn't mourn. I realized that survival doesn't come from holding on. It comes from letting go. And that letting go isn't dramatic. It isn't loud. It isn't cinematic. It's quiet. Heavy. Complete. It's peace. I reached the edge of the city lights and paused. I inhaled deeply. The air smelled of rain, of possibility, of a future I could finally own. I didn't feel empty. I didn't feel lost. I didn't feel lonely. I felt free. Not free from her. Not free from the betrayal. Free from the emotional chains I had carried for months, years even, without realizing it. I had survived destruction. I had survived deceit. I had survived love turned hollow. And now I chose life. My life. My peace. My clarity. I walked forward. I didn't look back. Not once. Not even as the night swallowed the city, silent and complete. Not even as the memories tried to whisper. I was free. Finally.